Hello, people of the internet. So I wanted to jump on live really quick to continue my No Vamos Llorar los Lunes lives, as well as respark some motivation. I've been speaking with some of you guys, and especially with this respark of COVID coming, or that's been here, it sounded like a lot of you guys just needed a bit of a reminder why to keep going. So this week I wanted to highlight some of the amazing women, of course, that I've ran into over probably this last year. In this last year, it was a big kind of goal for me to find women in the workforce and in business that I can relate to, that I can aspire to be, and along the way I've found some really inspirational girls and women that to me are paving the way not only for what they see and they envision, but for other women to come. So one of the most interesting girls that I found was necesitas. Hopefully I'm not butchering any of these people's names, and she is the creator of NS Audio. She hosts podcasts, and the thing that I find most interesting about Nitty is she is still in high school. So I believe in one of my last lives I was speaking to you guys about how, to be quite honest, anybody could be an entrepreneur, from the little girl having a lemonade stand on the corner to Nitty having her own podcast, to Valentina Vogt, who is a college dropout and decided to follow her passion in fashion, and she now owns her own brand. And I think it's these women that are not only changing the way that business is done, but changing the way that people are viewing what women can do, especially at any age. Nitty works in, it sounds like marketing. She helps other people learn how to monetize on social media and how to build their brand. She started her podcast at 14 years old. Now 15 years old, her goal is to make as much as her teachers earn by the end of the year. I think it's really interesting to see. I actually have a shirt created that says the women are the present, with the future crossed out of it. And to be quite honest, it's girls and women like this that I see that show me time and time again that the future, yes, that might have been the women are the future, but at this point the women are the present, and they're making the changes now, and they're wanting to be heard now. And Nidhi just proves that at the age of 15 with her podcast. So she was the first woman that I wanted to kind of highlight and show you guys that, to be quite honest, at any age, if you have something to teach, if you have something of value to present to this world, you need to do it. There is no age that is too young, and to be quite honest, you are doing people a disservice by not letting your voice be heard. And the next one that I was already talking about, Valentina, she caught my attention not only because she's a college dropout. I found that I aligned a lot with her in that sense, solely because we didn't want to follow the norm. Even though probably everybody was telling us to go to school, we knew that following our passion was more important. Valentina, most of all, caught my attention because of the way that she decides to express herself through her art, through her fashion. She has quite a few collections, but the one that caught my eye, I think it's her first collection, is the Woman Come First collection. And she decided through her fashion, through her brand, she's going to create a different type of way that women are seen, that women express themselves. And I think it's amazing that she's deciding to not only create this for women, but do it at such a young age and show other Latinas that you could do anything that you set your mind to. Along finding Valentina, I ran into also, hopefully I don't butcher this name, Yaara Lyons, and I found her quite interesting because she is a 20-year-old business owner with the first Black-owned do-rag store on Melrose in California. She actually started her brand at 17 years old. She decided that she had a vision that she wanted to not only wear her fashion, but create this new type of expression in the Black community. Seeing her do rags not only on women, but on babies, and she has a velvet collection that's just so cute. She really redefined fashion in that sense, and what I found even most interesting about her is 20 years old with a little shop in California. Her plans are not only to be the first Black-owned do-rag store, but she soon hopes to create more things along the lines of furniture, creating bathing suits, and a whole clothing line. And I just found it so interesting to see that at 20 years old, so fearlessly, again, she jumps into creating and leading her people. And this is gonna take me into my last woman shout out of this live. Hopefully these first three girls, they're very young like me. I found some of myself in them, but hopefully that shined a light on showing you guys that it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter where you came from, it just matters that you follow your mission and you continue to let your voice be heard, to express yourself, to help people the way that you know best. And that leads me to Yaara Golden. And she is one of my favorites because, to be quite honest, when I got into marketing and into learning more about the business world, it really opened my eyes as to what I was able to do as a career. When I was younger, I used to think like, oh, I could be a doctor or I could be a lawyer. And then I was like, oh, I could be a business owner. Oh, I could be an email specialist. Oh, I could be a digital marketer. And then when I found Russell Brunson, the funnel hacking groups, and Yaara Golden, seeing her, I was like, holy crap, I could be a professional storyteller? Like, that's a thing? So ever since, I've been obsessed with storytelling and becoming a professional storyteller. So thank you to Yaara for showing me the different types of careers that there are and just what's possible in this world, because I don't think everybody realizes you could do anything that you set your mind to. You can monetize off of any passion that you have, as long as you're following your mission, you know, the money will come. And there was this one post by Yaara that really, I guess, sent chills down my spine, and I was like, okay, now it's time to get to work. And this was her message that I read, actually scrolling through Facebook. And it says, no one can do the work for you. I'm not here to convince you to create the change in your life that you say you want. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you or the situation that you've somehow managed to create for yourself. And I'm not about to believe the bullshit stories you've been telling yourself or the people around you about how or why this happened. The bottom line is I do not feel sorry for you. I believe in your capability to create the change you say you want. I believe in your ability to take personal responsibility for your life and everything in it. I believe in your ability to step back into your authority and back into your power. The only question now is, when will you start believing in you? XO YG, Yaara Golden. Reading this on my Facebook timeline, thank you, Miss Yaara, really made me realize that at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. I could sit here and tell you about how amazing these women are, about how amazing you are, about how everybody has a message that they were put on this earth to get out there. They all have a mission that they were meant to follow, and at the end of the day, I could want for every woman in the world to follow their mission, but when are you going to decide that it's time? Because nobody's going to make you. Nobody's going to make you. So the biggest thing I wanted to showcase in this live is, it doesn't matter what message you have. It doesn't matter what career you're trying to follow. You will find your village along the way, your mission along the way, and the sooner you do it, the more lives you will get to change. I promise you that. I believe on my last live, I showed you guys a little sneak peek on what I was working on for some of my t-shirts. So I wanted to show you really quick some of the ones that I created in inspiration of liberating the women in my world. In seeing, I think especially with Valentina and Atira lines, like how they really take what their market is, their people, who they're trying to inspire, and they're changing those platforms like nobody's business. And to be quite honest, when I created this company, I guess I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with it. You see, I am a dancer, and I started creating choreography for special events probably a year ago. So originally, I thought I would be training and developing students and young girls. But somewhere along the way, in building the business and building my website, I started to teach other women how to build their own business, how to build their own domains and websites, and how to build their brands. And then I realized, oh, I could teach people how to do digital marketing. You see, my dad owns a digital marketing company, and to be quite honest, I don't remember a time that I was not learning about digital marketing. I remember one summer, similar to this summer, I guess. Luckily, we weren't in quarantine back then, but my dad's like, you can't just stay at home on your phone all summer long. You're going to have to do something. So he made me and my sister. Looking back at it, to be quite honest, this is what I was raised in, so I thought it was normal. But he made me and my sister create our own websites, and we had to talk about subjects that we wanted to talk about. So my sister, being a math and science geek, decided to create a projects website and blog where she spoke about different projects, how to do origami, how to do the science experiment, different things that she was interested in at that point. And me, at 11 years old, I decided to create a website called That Tween Guide, and I spoke about, to be quite honest, it's dorky thinking about it, but it was things I was interested in, and looking back at it, that's probably what sparked my interest in marketing from the beginning. What more does an 11-year-old have to talk about other than what was on magazines? So I was writing about Miley Cyrus and her transition from Disney into her own brand, and the release of Twilight, and I would write blogs about things that interest me and that were coming out into this world. So that has been my intro into marketing and to business at the age of 11 years old. And I guess when I created this business and I had people coming to me asking, like, how did you do this? How did you develop this domain? How did you develop this website? I was like, oh, other people don't normally know how to do this stuff. So when I created LiberarLa originally, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to become a mentor, not only for business, but for personal life. Similar to what I was doing with dance. But then Corona happened, and I realized that my purpose in this life is bigger than just to, I guess, monetize on things I enjoy. So in developing this brand, in developing LiberarLa, I decided to focus more so on kind of what I saw that I was doing within dance and within mentoring business women, and that is speaking life into these women and girls. I've came to realize that a lot of girls were not raised to believe that they can take on the world, and it's really interesting that whether it's working in dance or whether it's working in business or working with just professional development, like a big thing that I teach in all of those aspects is not only teaching women how to be confident in themselves, but really redefining their mindset on what they believe is possible, because so many women have these limited beliefs about what they can achieve. And to be quite honest, hopefully those 4 women I highlighted to you guys kind of showed you what's capable in this world, beyond what you can even imagine. But that is what LiberarLa was created for. It is to inspire, empower, and liberate not only the women of this earth, but the generations to come. And hopefully I get to create more of these along the way. These are inspired, like I said, by the women in my life. And I'm just hoping that along my way, I guess I could inspire some of the young women too. This one, I actually created for my niece. She has diabetes, and she is 3 years old and such a trooper. When I believe I told you guys this in my last live, but when I first went to go babysit her, she would take her insulin, and she's like, I don't cry for my medicine, Thea. I'm a brave girl. Like, I don't cry. I'm good. And it was in listening to her at 3 years old, just realizing, like, these little girls need to be told they could take on the world and do anything, that they are brave, that they're courageous, that they're unstoppable. So I created the shirt for my little niece and hopefully for other people's niece in the future. And it says, brave, courageous, resilient, I am unstoppable. And that's my little LiberarLa logo. And this one is actually one of my favorites so far, solely because I think in one of my first lives I told you guys, growing up I never saw shirts that not only like expressed me, but shirts that empowered me. And that's been a big thing in my coming of age. Like, I want shirts that empower me, that make me feel like a badass. And I remember when I was growing up, it was like I would go to the girl section and it's like, oh, cute and beautiful like mommy, or beautiful little girl, or beautiful princess. And then you go to the boy side and it's like unstoppable hero, or a brave boy. And that is a big thing that I've been trying to do with my shirts, is I need to break this whole society's view on what women are capable of. We need to stop telling our girls that they are just cute little princesses and they're not. They can take on the world and they are unstoppable. And that actually reminds me of my next shirt. And this one I actually created for my baby sister. She turns 15 this year. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but in our Mexican culture, 15 is coming of age for a woman. And in quarantine, I've had the, I guess, luxury of spending a lot of time with my family. And it wasn't speaking that with my sister. She turns 15 this October. And she was telling me about how at our gym, some of her the younger students were sending her videos of like, look, Tony, I got this stunt. Look, Tony, I got this pass. And there's this one where I think she finally realized how people could start looking up to her the same way that she looks up to me. And some little girl on her cheer gym sent her a video, and she's like, look, Tony, I got this pass. Like, I'm so excited. I'm gonna tumble just like you. And she was telling me, like, sister, this feels weird. And I looked at her and I was like, baby girl, like, what feels weird? She's like, she looks up to me, like she's looking at what I'm doing. And my baby sister, she's so funny. She's the baby of 3 girls, and it's so funny to see like her and my other sister coming of age, because they've done it so gracefully. And it's so, I guess, humbling to me as a sister to see that they effortlessly choose to go help the world. In talking to my sister, it reminded me of my quinceañera. That's my laundry, I'm sorry, guys. It reminded me of my quinceañera, and I remember my little cousins as I walked in my really poofy dress, and they looked at me and they're like, Mom, I want to dress like that for my quinceañera. And I don't know if you guys know this, fun fact, I have a crown collection, and when people come visit, normally they like to decide to try on my crowns, and the first thing that I always hear is, holy crap, that's heavy. And yeah, the crown is always heavy. It's a crown, a full crown. I don't know what you guys thought, but it just reminded me of, again, my quinceañera, and the first day I put on my first crown. And I was like, holy crap, this is heavy. And I had to pick up my head pretty high and look up at my party of people, at my family, at my friends. And it was in my quinceañera that I realized that, holy crap, this is my village. Like, I have to take care of my village from here on out. Like, I have to do everything in my power to show my village that they're gonna be proud of me, like, that I'm gonna do right by them. And whenever I think of wearing my crowns or being a queen, it's wearing the weight of your village, literally, on your crown. The weight sits on your shoulders, and you sit having to lead with the best intentions of your village, whether it be your family, whether it be where you come from, tu pueblo. So I made this shirt for my sister. It's a coming of age shirt for her, actually. And it says, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Y aún así la carga como si fuera tan rivalenta como un pluma. There is strength in her heart, determination in sus ojos, and the will to survive resides within her soul. Ella eres tú, a warrior, a champion, a fighter, una reina. That's the back. And the front. Again, my biggest goal in these shirts, especially with these newer ones, was creating the shirts that I never saw growing up that empowered and strengthened women. So here's the front, and it says it in Spanish and in English, but it says strong, fierce, resilient. And I actually gave this to one of my cousins, and I explained to her whether it be coming of age, because I did create it for my baby sister, or whether it be motherhood, or whether it be being a community leader. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, because we have to lead with the intentions of our village, the best intentions of our village in mind, whether that be our family, whether that be our community. And, you know, it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Always worth it, for sure. Lastly, I wanted to show you guys my mask. I was super excited for these. I don't know about you guys, but oh my god, I cannot stand masks that don't cover my face. Like, I hate when I'm having to mess with the mask because it keeps falling down. That's been my biggest issue. So my mask, little LiberarLa. The best way to actually put them on is I put them in the colita, and then I put each side, and then each around my ear. And especially when I have my glasses on. I don't have my glasses because it's the middle of the night. But it sits perfectly right here. And I put it all around so it doesn't fall. This has been my favorite to do for dance class, as well as my my grandmother. I struggle with hers, like, falling off as well, and I don't like taking her shopping in the first place, so the least amount of times I could get her to stop messing with her mask, the better. So I've actually got some for my grandmother, and I taught her how to put her hair in a little colita and put it around her face. So these are actually going on my site. So you know, I spoke a little bit about needing to follow your mission and needing to follow putting your word out there, whatever it is, whatever you're put on this world to kind kind of create. But it's actually my grandfather's birthday leading into my dad's birthday. My grandfather's on the 17th and my dad here on the 18th. And my grandfather actually passed away when I was 6 years old. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I showed you motivation, why you should start creating your message, but I never spoke about why I do it so effortlessly. That's a big thing that I hear a lot being told to me. I always laugh when I hear this, because people will tell me, like, similar to my story of I started at 11, they're like, well, you've done this since you're 11, like, it's easy for you to start a company. And I'm like, yeah, but really, like, it's hard for anybody. And at the end of the day, whether I've been doing this since I was 11, or whether you're 65 and barely starting a company and don't know how to work a phone, you know, we were put on this earth to spread our mission, and if you're not following what you think you should be doing, like, there's no greater time than now, especially with the global pandemic. I hope this has shown a lot of people, you know, what is important in life and what you truly should be doing. But anywho, my grandfather's birthday, I was thinking about how at 21 years old, I decided to create this company. And to be quite honest, some days I have no idea what I'm doing, or what I want to do with this company, or what exactly my message is. But most days I lead without fear. And it's not necessarily that I don't feel the fear. It's that I feel the fear and I decide to do it anyways. And why is that? So I was thinking about my grandfather's birthday, and to be quite honest, I've always believed that I am the answer to my ancestors' prayers. And I kind of find it funny that other people don't see this. And if you really think about it, 100 years ago, you know, my mom was doing an Ancestry.com, and we found that my grandmother's grandmother, she was brought here and married off at the age of 14. And then later on to have my grandmother have to drop out of school in 6th grade. And now me being able to have the luxury of creating a company at the age of 20, being 21 and running a business. I feel the fear and I do it anyways, because I know I'm the answer to my ancestors' prayers. So I'm not scared of anything. When my ancestors were enslaved and they prayed for freedom, when my grandmother was in poverty, she had to quit school to go to work, and she prayed for education. When my mom fell pregnant, and she prayed for a healthy baby. You know, I lead fearlessly because I know I'm the answer to their prayers. I was born here in the States with the freedom to not only create a business, but to use my freedom of speech. I was born here and I have had the luxury to go to school, to be educated. And I think that's something that so many people take for granted nowadays. Like, there's still girls being forced into child marriages, and I have a voice that they don't. So I'm gonna use it as much as I can, because I know there's girls that don't have that luxury. But I also know that I shouldn't be scared, because my ancestors, they always prayed for this. They prayed for us to have the freedom that we do. And I guess that has been my biggest vision in creating LiberarLa. When my family didn't have the luxury of being free 100 years ago, when my family didn't have the luxury of being educated 50 years ago. Here in the States, we've had the luxury of being liberated, and it's time to start liberating other people. It's time to get to work. Start believing in yourself and realize that if you want change in this world, then you have to create it. You have to be the change you want to see in this world, because nobody else will. So hopefully you guys took something from that live and found some inspiration, if not from kind of my pep talk, but from the girls I highlighted here. One last thing. I actually created a little sale for you guys in thinking of my grandfather. I just thought I really wanted to celebrate August. So I decided to create a sale for LiberarLa from here until the end of August. And that will be that there will be free shipping to anywhere here in the United States, as well as 20% off all of shirts right now. And that should automatically just be added to your cart. So if it doesn't show there, please let me know. But that 20% discount on shirts should automatically just jump on your cart if you guys are shopping on there and are looking for any of these new shirts. And last but not least, the mask. I decided to create a discount to give you guys a free mask. Unfortunately, how the site is set up, it only lets me do one discount at a time. So I'm sorry, if you get a shirt, it's not going to let you do the free mask, but if you do just the mask, it'll let you. I'm going to figure out how to do double coupons eventually. I'm sorry, bear with me, but for the time being, it only lets you do one discount at a time. But if you go in and you do discount code mask exclamation point, it'll give you a free mask with any purchase. So hopefully that helped you guys in realizing that really you guys could take on the world and do anything you set your mind to, no matter your age, no matter what it is your passion is, no matter what it is your mission is. Everybody has a purpose that they were meant to follow here. So check out the site. Let me know what you guys think. I took some of your guys' feedback and added some more sizes and different colors, but I only get better with hearing your guys' feedback, so I definitely would like to hear what you guys think. So comment, send me a DM. I love to hear from you guys. So have a great rest of your August. Bye, guys.